In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. But his people gave no other answer but this. They said, "Drive out the followers of Lut from your city. These are indeed men who want to be clean and pure. But we saved him and his family, except his wife. Her we destined to be one of those who lagged behind. And we rained down on them a shower of brimstone, and evil was the shower on those who were admonished, but heeded not. Say, praise be to Allah, and peace on his servants whom he has chosen for his message. Who is better, Allah or the false gods they associate with him? On who has created the heavens and the earth, and who sends you down rain from the sky? Yea, with it we cause to grow well-planted orchards full of beauty and delight. It is not in your power to cause the growth of the trees in them. Can there be another God besides Allah? No, they are a people who swerve from justice. Or who has made the earth firm to live in, made rivers in its midst, set thereon mountains immovable, and made a separating bar between the two seas? Can there be another God besides Allah? No, most of them know not. Or who listens to the distressed when he calls on him, and who relieves his suffering, and makes you mankind inheritors of the earth? Can there be another God besides Allah? Little it is that you heed. Or who guides you through the depths of the darkness on land and on sea, and who sends the winds as heralds of glad tidings, going before his mercy? Can there be another God besides Allah? High is Allah above what they associate with him. Or who originates creation, then repeats it, and who gives you sustenance from heaven and earth? Can there be another God besides Allah? Say, bring forth your argument if you are telling the truth. Say, none in the heavens or earth except Allah knows what is hidden, nor can they perceive when they shall be raised up for judgment. No, but their knowledge fails as to the hereafter. They are in doubt and uncertainty thereatent. No, they are blind thereunto. The unbelievers say, what, when we become dust, we and our fathers, shall we really be raised from the dead? It is true we were promised this, we and our fathers before us. These are nothing but tales of the ancients. Say, go ye through the earth, and see what has been the end of those guilty of sin. But grieve not over them, nor distress thyself because of their plots. They also say, when will this promise come to pass, if ye are truthful? Say, it may be that some of the events which ye wish to hasten on may be close in your pursuit. But verily thy Lord is full of grace to mankind, yet most of them are ungrateful. And verily thy Lord knoweth all that their hearts do hide, as well as all that they reveal. And there is nothing hidden in heaven or earth, but is recorded in a clear record. Verily this Qur'an doth explain to the children of Israel most of the matters in which they disagree, and it certainly is a guide and a mercy to those who believe. Verily thy Lord will decide between them by his decree, and he is exalted in might, all-knowing. So put thy trust in Allah, for thou art on the path of manifest truth. Truly thou canst not cause the dead to listen, nor canst thou cause the deaf to hear the call, especially when they turn back in retreat. Nor canst thou be a guide to the blind, to prevent them from straying. Only those wilt thou get to listen who believe in our signs, so they submit. And when the word is fulfilled against them, the unjust, we shall bring forth from the earth a beast to speak unto them, because mankind had no faith in our signs. The day we shall gather together from every people a troop of those who reject our signs, and they shall be kept in ranks, until when they come before the judgment seat, Allah will say, did you reject my signs, though you comprehended them not in knowledge, or what was it you did? And the word will be fulfilled against them because of their wrongdoing, and they will be unable to speak in plea. See they not that we have made the night for them to rest in the day and to give them light? Verily in this are signs for any people that believe. And the day that the trumpet will be sounded, then will be smitten with terror those who are in the heavens and those who are on the earth. And the day that the trumpet will be sounded, then will be smitten with terror those who are in the heavens and those who are on earth, except such as Allah will please to exempt. And all shall come to him in utter humility. Thou seest the mountains, and thinkest them firmly fixed, but they shall pass away as the clouds pass away. Such is the artistry of Allah, who disposes of all things in perfect order, for he is well acquainted with all that you do. If any do good, he will have better than it, and they will be secure from terror that day. And if any do evil, their faces will be thrown headlong into the fire. Do you receive a reward other than that which you have earned by your deeds? For me, I have been commanded to serve the Lord of this city, him who has sanctified it, and to whom belong all things. And I am commanded to be of those who will bow in Islam to Allah's will, and to rehearse the Qur'an. And if any accept guidance, they do it for good of their own souls. And if any stray, say, I am only a warner. And say, praise be to Allah, who will soon show you his signs, so that you shall know them. And thy Lord is not unmindful of all that you do. These are verses of the book that makes things clear. we rehearse to thee some of the story of Moses and Pharaoh in truth for people who believe. Truly Pharaoh elated himself in the land and divided its people into sections, depressing a group among them. Their sons he slew, but he kept alive their females, for he was indeed an evildoer. And we wish to be gracious to those who are being depressed in the land, to make them leaders in faith and make them heirs, to establish a firm place for them in the land, and to show Pharaoh, Haman, and their hosts what they were dreading from them. So we sent this inspiration to the mother of Moses, Suckle thy child, but when thou hast fears about him, cast him into the river. But fear not, nor grieve, for we shall restore him to thee, and we shall make him one of our messengers. Then the people of Pharaoh picked him up from the river. It was intended that Moses should be to them an adversary and cause of sorrow, for Pharaoh and Haman and all their hosts were men of sin. The wife of Pharaoh said, Here is a joy of the eye for me and for thee, slay him not. It may be that he will be of use to us, or we may adopt him as a son. And they perceived not what they were doing. And the heart of the mother of Moses became void. She was going almost to disclose his case, had we not strengthened her heart with faith, so that she might remain a firm believer. And she said to the sister of Moses, Trace him. So she, the sister, watched him from a distance, and they perceived not. And we ordained that he refused suck at first, until his sister came up and said, Shall I point out to you the people of a house that will nourish and bring him up for you and take care of him? Thus did we restore him to his mother, that her eye might be comforted, that she might not grieve, and that she might know that the promise of Allah is true, but most of them do not know. When he reached full age and was firmly established in life, we bestowed on him wisdom and knowledge, for thus do we reward those who do good. And he entered the city at a time when its people were not watching, and he found there 2 men fighting, one of his own people and the other of his foes. Now the man of his own people appealed to him against his foe, and Moses struck him with his fist and killed him. He said, This is a work of Satan, for he is an enemy that manifestly misleads. He prayed, O my Lord, I have indeed wronged my soul. Do thou then forgive me. So Allah forgave him, for he is the oft-forgiving, most merciful. He said, O my Lord, for that thou hast bestowed thy grace on me, never shall I be a help to those who sin. In the morning he was in the city, fearful and vigilant, when behold, the man who had the day before sought his help, called aloud for his help again. Moses said to him, Thou art truly one erring manifestly. Then, when he was about to lay his hands on their enemy, the man said, O Moses, it is thy intention to slay me as thou slewest a man yesterday? Thou only desire to become a tyrant in the land, and not be the one who sets things right. And there came a man running from the furthest end of the city. He said, O Moses, the chiefs are taking counsel together about thee, to slay thee. So get thee away, for I do give thee sincere advice. He therefore got away therefrom. Looking about in a state of fear, he prayed, O my Lord, save me from people given to wrongdoing. Then when he turned his face toward the land of Madian, he said, I do hope that my Lord will show me a smooth and straight path. And when he arrived at the watering place in Madian, he found there a group of men watering their flocks, and besides them he found 2 women who were keeping back with their flocks, and said, What is the matter with you? They said, We cannot water our flocks until the shepherds take back their flocks, and our father is a very old man. So he watered their flocks for them, and he turned back to the shade, and said, O my Lord, truly am I in desperate need of any good that thou dost send me. Afterwards one of the damsels came back to him, walking bashfully. She said, My father invites thee, that he may reward thee for having watered our flocks for us. So when he came to him and narrated the story, he said, Fear thou not, well hast thou escaped from unjust people. Said one of the damsels, O my dear father, engage him on wages. Truly the best of men for thee to employ is the man who is strong and trusty. He said, I intend to wed one of these my daughters to thee, on the condition that you serve me for 8 years. But if thou complete 10 years, it will be grace from thee. But I intend not to place thee under a difficulty. Thou wilt find me indeed, if Allah wills, one of the righteous. He said, Be that the agreement between me and thee, whichever the 2 terms I fulfill, let there be no injustice to me. Be Allah a witness to what we say. Now when Moses had fulfilled the term, and was traveling with his family, he perceived a fire in the direction of Mount Tur. He said to his family, Tarry you, I perceive a fire. I hope to bring you from there some information or a burning firebrand, that you may warm yourselves. But when he came to the fire, he was called from the right bank of the valley, from a tree in hallowed ground. O Moses, verily I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Now do you throw thy rod. But when he saw it moving of its own accord, as if it had been a snake, he turned back in retreat, and retraced not his steps. O Moses, it was said, Draw near, and fear not, for thou art of those who are secure. Thrust thy hand into thy bosom, and it will come forth white, without stain or harm. And draw thy hand close to thy side, to guard against fear. Those are the 2 credentials from thy Lord to Pharaoh and his chiefs, for truly they are a people rebellious and wicked. He said, O my Lord, I have slain a man among them, and I fear lest they slay me. And my brother Aaron, he is more eloquent in speech than I, so send him with me as a helper, to confirm and strengthen me, for I fear that they may accuse me of falsehood. He said, We will certainly strengthen thy arm through thy brother, and invest you both with authority, so they shall not be able to touch you. With our signs shall you triumph, you too, as well as those who follow you. When Moses came to them with our clear signs, they said, This is nothing but sorcery faked up. Never did we hear the like among our fathers of old. Moses said, My Lord knows best who it is that comes with guidance from him, and whose end will be best in the hereafter. Certain is it that the wrongdoers will not prosper. Pharaoh said, O chiefs, no God do I know for you but myself. Therefore, O Haman, light me a kiln to bake bricks out of clay, and build me a lofty palace, that I may mount up to the God of Moses. But as far as I am concerned, I think Moses is a liar. And he was arrogant and insolent in the land beyond reason. He and his hosts, they thought that they would not have to return to us. So we seized him and his hosts, and we flung them into the sea. Now behold what was the end of those who did wrong. And we made them but leaders, inviting to the fire, and on the day of judgment no help shall they find. In this world we made a curse to follow them, and on the day of judgment will they be among the loathed and despised. We did reveal to Moses that the book, after we had destroyed the earlier generations, to give insight to men and guidance and mercy, that they might receive admonition. Thou wast not on the western side when we decreed a commission to Moses, nor wast thou a witness of those events. But we raised up new generations, and long were the ages that passed over them. But thou wast not a dweller among the people of Madian, rehearsing our signs to them, but it is we who send messengers with inspiration. Nor wast thou at the side of the mountain of Tur when we called to Moses. Yet art thou sent as a mercy from thy Lord, to give warning to a people to whom no warner had come before thee, in order that they may receive admonition. If we had not sent thee to the Quraysh, in case a calamity should seize them for the deeds that their hands have sent forth, that they might say, Our Lord, why didst thou not send us a messenger? We should then have followed the signs, and been amongst those who believe. But now when the truth has come to them from ourselves, they say, Why are not signs sent to him like those which were sent to Moses? Do they not then reject the signs which were formerly sent to Moses? They say 2 kinds of sorcery, each assists the other, and they say, For us we reject all such things. Say then, bring you a book from Allah which is a better guide than either of them, that I may follow it, if you are truthful. But if they hearken not to thee, know that they only follow their own lusts, and who is more astray than one who follows his own lusts, devoid of guidance from Allah? For Allah guides not people given to wrongdoing. Now have we brought them the word in order that they may receive admonition. Those to whom we sent the book before this, they do believe in this revelation. When it is recited to them, they say, We believe therein, for it is the truth from our Lord. Indeed, we have been Muslims, bowing to Allah's will from before this. Twice will they be given their reward for that they have persevered, that they avert evil with good, and that they spend in charity out of what we have given them. And when they hear vain talk, they turn away therefrom and say, To us our deeds, and to you yours. Peace be to you, we seek not the ignorant. It is true thou wilt not be able to guide everyone whom thou lovest, but Allah guides those whom he will, and he knows best those who receive guidance. They say, If we were to follow the guidance with thee, we should be snatched away from our land. Have we not established for them a secure sanctuary, to which are brought as tribute fruits of all kinds, a provision from ourselves? But most of them understand not. And how many towns we destroyed, which exulted in their life of ease and plenty. Now those habitations of theirs after them are deserted, all but a miserable few, and we are their heirs. Nor was thy Lord the one to destroy a town until he had sent to its center a messenger, rehearsing to them our signs. Nor are we going to destroy a population, except when its members practice iniquity. The material things which you are given are but the conveniences of this life and the glitter thereof. But that which is with Allah is better and more enduring. Will you not then be wise? Are these two alike? One to whom we have made a goodly promise, and who is going to reach its fulfillment, and one to whom we have given the good things of this life, but who on the day of judgment is to be among those brought up for punishment. That day Allah will call to them and say, Where are my partners whom you imagined to be such? Those against whom the charge will be proved will say, Our Lord, these are the ones whom we led astray. We led them astray, as we were astray ourselves. We free ourselves from them to you. It was not us they worshipped. It will be said to them, Call upon your partners for help. They will call upon them, and they will not listen to them. And they will see the chastisement before them. How they will wish if only they had been open to guidance. That day Allah will call to them and say, What was the answer you gave to the messengers? Then the arguments that day will be obscure to them, and they will not be able even to question each other. But any that in this life had repented, believed, and worked righteousness, haply he shall be one of the successful. Thy Lord does create and choose as he pleases. No choice have they in the matter. Glory to Allah, and far is he above the partners they ascribe to him. And thy Lord knows all that their hearts conceal and all that they reveal. And he is Allah, there is no God but he. To him be praise at the first and at the last. For him is the command, and to him shall ye all be brought back. Say, see you, if Allah were to make the night perpetual over you to the day of judgment, what God is there other than Allah who can give you light? Will you not then hearken? Say, see you, if Allah were to make the day perpetual over you to the day of judgment, what God is there other than Allah who can give you a night in which you can rest? Will you not then see? It is out of his mercy that he has made for you night and day, that you may rest therein, and that you may seek of his grace, and in order that you may be grateful. The day that he will call on them, he will say, where are my partners whom you imagine to be such? And from each people shall we draw a witness, and we shall say, produce your proof. Then shall they know that the truth is with Allah alone, and the lies which they invented will leave them in the lurch. Qarun was doubtless of the people of Moses, but he acted insolently towards them. Such were the treasures we had bestowed on him, that their very keys would have been a burden to a body of strong men. Behold, his people said to him, exult not, for Allah loveth not those who exult in riches. But seek with the wealth which Allah has bestowed upon thee the home of the hereafter, nor forget thy portion in this world, but do thou good, as Allah has been good to you, and seek not occasions for mischief in the land, for Allah loves not those who do mischief. He said, this has been given to me because of a certain knowledge which I have. Did he not know that Allah had destroyed before him whole generations which were superior to him in strength and greater in amount of riches that they had collected? But the wicked are not called immediately to account for their sins. So he went forth among his people in the pride of his worldly glitter. Said those whose aim is the life of this world, oh, that we had the like of what Qarun has got, for he is truly a lord of mighty good fortune. But those who had been granted true knowledge said, alas for you, the reward of Allah in the hereafter is best for those who believe and work righteousness. But this none shall attain, save those who steadfastly persevere in good. Then we caused the earth to swallow up him and his house, and had he not the least little party to help him against Allah, nor could he defend himself. And those who had envied his position on the day before began to say on the morrow, it is indeed Allah who enlarges the provision or restricts it to any of his servants he pleases. Had it not been that Allah was gracious to us, he could have caused the earth to swallow us up. Those who reject Allah will assuredly never prosper. That home of the hereafter we shall give to these who intend not high-handedness or mischief on earth, and the end is best for the righteous. If any does good, the reward to him is better than his deed. But if any does evil, the doers of evil are only punished to the extent of their deeds. Verily, he who ordained the Qur'an for thee will bring thee back to the place of return. Say, my Lord knows best who it is that brings true guidance, and who is in manifest error. And thou hadst not expected that the book would be sent to thee except as a mercy from thy Lord. Therefore lend not thou support in any way to those who reject Allah's message. Let no one turn you away from Allah's revelations after they have been revealed to thee, and invite men to thy Lord, and be not of the company of those who join gods with Allah. And call not besides Allah on any other God. There is no God but He. Everything that exists will perish except His face. To Him belongs the command, and to Him will ye all be brought back. Do men think that they will be left alone on saying, we believe, and that they will not be tested? We did test those before them, and Allah will certainly know those who are true from those who are false. Do those who practice evil think that they will outstrip us? Evil is their judgment. For those whose hopes are in the meeting with Allah, the term appointed by Allah is surely coming, and He hears and knows all things. And if any strive with might and main, they do so for their own souls, for Allah is free of all needs from all creation. Those who believe and work righteous deeds, from them shall we blot out all misdeeds that they have committed, and we shall reward them according to the best of their deeds. We have enjoined on man kindness to parents, but if they either of them strive to force thee to join with me and worship anything of which thou hast no knowledge, obey them not. You have all to return to me, and I will tell you the truth of all that you did. And those who believe and work righteous deeds, them shall we admit to the company of the righteous. Then there are among men such as say, we believe in Allah, but when they suffer affliction in the cause of Allah, they treat men's oppression as if it were the wrath of Allah. And if help comes to thee from thy Lord, they are sure to say, we have always been with you. Does not Allah know best all that is in the hearts of all creation? And Allah most certainly knows those who believe, and as certainly those who are hypocrites. And the unbelievers say to those who believe, follow our path, and we will bear the consequences of your faults. Never in the least will they bear their faults. In fact, they are liars. They will bear their own burdens and other burdens along with their own, and on the day of judgment they will be called to account for their falsehoods. We did send Noah to his people, and he tarried among them 1,000 years less 50, but the deluge overwhelmed them while they persisted in sin. But we saved him and the companions of the ark, and we made the ark a sign for all peoples. And we also saved Abraham. Behold, he said to his people, serve Allah and fear him. That will be best for you, if you understand. For ye do worship idols besides Allah, and ye invent falsehoods. The things that ye worship besides Allah have no power to give you sustenance. Then seek ye sustenance from Allah. Serve him and be grateful to him. To him will be your return. And if you reject the message, so did generations before you, and the duty of the messenger is only to preach publicly and clearly. See they not know how Allah originates creation, then repeats it. Truly, that is easy for Allah. Say, travel through the earth and see how Allah did originate creation, so will Allah produce a later creation, for Allah has power over all things. He punishes whom he pleases, and he grants mercy to whom he pleases, and towards him are ye turned. Not on earth nor in heaven will ye be able fleeing to frustrate his plan, nor have ye besides Allah any protector or helper. Those who reject the signs of Allah and the meeting with him in the hereafter, it is they who shall despair of my mercy. It is they who will suffer a most grievous chastisement. So naught was the answer of Abraham's people, except that they said, slay him or burn him. But Allah did save him from the fire. Verily in this are signs for people who believe. And he said, for you we have taken for worship idols besides Allah, out of mutual love and regard between yourselves in this life. But on the day of judgment you shall disown each other and curse each other, and your abode will be the fire, and you shall have none to help. But Lut believed him. He said, I will leave home for the sake of my Lord, for he is exalted in might, wise. And we gave Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and ordained among his progeny prophethood and revelation. And we granted him his reward in this life, and he will be in the hereafter of the righteous. And remember, Lut, behold, he said to his people, ye do commit lewdness such as no people in creation ever committed before you. Do you indeed approach men and cut off the highway and practice wickedness even in your counsels? But his people gave no answer but this. They said, bring us the wrath of Allah if thou tell us the truth. He said, O my Lord, help thou me against people who do mischief. When our messengers came to Abraham with the good news, they said, we are indeed going to destroy the people of this township, for truly they are wicked men. He said, but there is Lut there. They said, we know well who is there, and we certainly will save him and his following, except his wife. She is of those who lag behind. And when our messengers came to Lut, he was grieved on their account, and felt himself powerless to protect them. But they said, fear not, nor grieve. We are here to save thee and thy following, except thy wife. She is of those who lag behind. For we are going to bring down on the people of this township a punishment from heaven, because they have been wickedly rebellious. And we have left thereof an evident sign for any people who care to understand. To the Madian people we sent their brother Shu'aib. Then he said, O my people, serve Allah, and fear the last day, nor commit evil on the earth with intent to do mischief. But they rejected him. Then the mighty blast seized them, and they lay prostrate in their homes by the morning. Remember also the Ads and the Thamud people. Clearly will they appear to you from the traces of their buildings, their fate. Satan made their deeds alluring to them, and kept them back from the path, though they were keen-sighted. Remember also Karun, Pharaoh, and Haman. There came to them Moses with clear signs, but they behaved with insolence on the earth, yet they could not overreach us. Each one of them we seized for his crime. Of them against some we sent a violent tornado with showers of stones. Some were caught by a mighty blast. Some we caused the earth to swallow up, and some we drowned in the waters. It was not Allah who wronged them. They wronged themselves. The parable of those who take protectors other than Allah is that of the spider who builds to itself a house. But truly the flimsiest of houses is the spider's house, if they but knew. Verily Allah doth know of everything whatever that they call upon besides him. He is exalted in power and wise. And such are the parables we sent forth for mankind, but only those who understand them who have knowledge. Allah created the heavens and the earth in truth. Verily, that is a sign for those who believe. Recite what is sent of the book by inspiration to thee, and establish regular prayer, for prayer restrains from shameful and evil deeds, and remembrance of Allah is the greatest thing in life, without doubt. And Allah knows the deeds that you do.